That man was tired. Kyrie doing a really good shot. Have a feeling going in.
Yeah, the utmost confidence in my brother, man. Got a great switch on Rudy, and I know exactly what he was thinking. So it was just time to get ready for the magic to happen, and got to his move. Shot it with confidence, as we know he'll always do, and took us home tonight, man. That's one of those wins where we could look back on and reflect and really be proud of ourselves. And the little things that it took to get this win tonight, we can carry on to Game 3. But we also understand that it's no time to be satisfied. We got 40 minutes to celebrate, and we got to get on this plane, go back to Dallas, and get ready for another hard-fought battle, because that team is not going to give up. And you know exactly what they're capable of. They've shown it in spurts throughout the first 2 games, and they've taken us down to the wire. So we just got to be aware that there's some luck involved, there's some fortune involved, shots not going in for them down the stretch. But we felt like we earned enough we did enough tonight to get this win. So proud of our guys.
What is it about him that makes him so special in those moments?
I think it's just his confidence and his fearless mentality. I've been talking about these young guys, but Luka's, alongside JT and Jaylen Brown, a few Trae Young, a few other guys that I haven't named, but they're part of that next generation that has that no fear mentality where they'll shoot from the parking lot, man, and and it'll look like it's a great shot, because they've been practicing it since they were young. So he's prepared for these moments, and he's built for these moments. So when things like that happen, I'm not surprised, but as a brother, I'm just nothing short of proud.
What do you think of the impact that Derek Lively's made all season long, but particularly in these playoffs as a rookie?
He's been doing great. I can echo Luka's sentiments. Just seeing a rookie do this is very impressive, and he falls right alongside a lot of the great ones that have come before him that probably weren't in the top 10 in towards the top 15 in terms of talent before he got drafted, but now I think he's making a lot of guys and a lot of women eat their words in terms of what he's capable of and his potential. He's shown it day in and day out. When he's healthy and he's on the floor, he makes a big difference. I mean, you look at our record in the beginning of the season when he was out of the lineup, when he was in the lineup, I think that was the telltale sign of how our team was going to be built. And if we have a 5-man that's athletic, that's able to catch lobs, that's able to play defense, that's able to make passes, and also communicate very well for someone his age, especially to older guys. He has that no fear mentality as well. So I'm proud of him, and I know that he's been working diligently and doing a lot of stuff that no one sees to help himself prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually.
And not to bum you out, but what's going through your mind when you missed those 2 free throws?
You're not going to bum me out about that, Tim. Yeah, you could bring it up, bro. It's basketball, man. Like, the game's over now. Now we can talk about it, man. I don't want to get fined, but I was just like, holy, oh, gosh, like, what the heck is going on, man? Like, a lot of emotions going through my head, and, there's a brief moment of disappointment. The fans are going crazy. I think we got them free chicken, right? Something like that. So, the fans are going crazy, and, rightfully so. They were cheering their butts off, and when I missed it, I think I was as surprised as a lot of people in the arena. But in those moments, I got to stay focused and be aware of, just how big it means how much it means to our team to make those, and I'm been in that moment, but when you miss, you also have to take that accountability and be better. And the next play mentality was the only thing I could carry forth, and I got in that corner, knocked it down, and got a deflection off of Jaden, and it felt good to be able to make those plays up. So the game's not over, especially when you miss 2 free throws. That goes out for all the younger generation that's watching. Those mistakes could weigh on you mentally, and you could carry that into the next game too. So it's time to just leave that here and praying I make all my free throws when I get back home, and that focus is there, man.
At the beginning of the fourth quarter, after Luka had come back from his second trip to the locker room, he was bent over at the scoring table, and you went over and said something to him, and it looked like you just asked him if he was okay. Yeah. And what did he say back to you?
He said yeah. He said yeah. It wasn't a long conversation. I was telling him, from the beginning of the game, just you have guys out here that have your back, and whenever you need me to take over, I will, take over the point guard responsibilities and bring the ball up and just get him to his spots, and then he comes out and hits a step back three. So I think I was like, I think you're fine, So there are moments where he shows just brilliance and he scores so easily, and then he comes back and he looks like he's laboring a little bit. But that guy's a warrior. I'm never worried about him. And him going back to the locker room and coming back out just shows how much he cares about playing well for this team and being a leader on this team.
How often in your career have you seen a guy play through all these problems that he's having now, and you don't really notice it? I mean, considering what the outcome is.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not an uncommon thing in our league for guys to play injured, but when somebody is asked to score as much as he is and asked to do as much, and also he pushes himself, to the ultimate measure, he wants to be great. He already is a great player, but I think he wants to be great in his mind and his life. So for us, we just want to continue to support him. And when he's out there not feeling well, we all are aware of it. But this is why we're a team. This is why we have a supportive cast. This is why we believe we're one of the best teams in the world, and we got to go prove it because it could be anybody's night. And if Luka's not playing well or not hitting his shots offensively, we don't want him to feel that burden. It's unfair to him. He's a young kid. So I'll take that burden at times, and other guys will take that burden, and we'll just be able to stay fluid, stay connected.
Kyrie, you're an all-timer. You played with an all-time great when you were younger in LeBron James. Now you're playing with a potential all-time great. What's it like to see that ascension from the veteran perspective now that you're the older guy?
Man, it's amazing. You make it sound like I'm like 38 already, and I'm the young guy of the older generation. I came in when I was 19, so I know I was trailing along around that older generation that's been around for a while. But for me personally, I'm amazed. Just I don't use that word lightly either. I'm amazed just on how much time he puts on his body and how much time he puts on his craft. And also, I've been saying it, but just that no-fear mentality, man, that confidence that he carries, he walks around with it. And, of course, the awards come along with that, too, and the expectations come along. I think he's answered a lot of calls. When Luka first came into the league, there were a lot of questions on what he was going to turn out to be and who he was going to be. And, I know a few people are eating their words, too. So watching him ascend into becoming an all-time great is amazing, and I don't take it for granted because, like you said, I play with one of the greatest of all time, arguably the greatest of all time, up there with the top 3, top 4, and dealt with a lot of that criticism and pressure, shielding us from it as teammates. And I think you see the same things that happen and occur with some of the greatest players that play. They take on a lot of pressure and they love it, and they relish in it, and they love answering that call. So for me, I just want to be supportive and continue to be an all-time great next to him and continue to show him the ropes and let him continue to fly, man. He's already been doing it.
It seemed like Luka really found a rhythm attacking downhill in the second half. As someone who commands such aggressive defensive, attention and coverages, and someone who shares that perspective as well, what are the challenges in a playoff setting to kind of continue to focus on attacking the paint instead of maybe settling for jump shots or taking those types of shots? Yeah, well,
some of the greatest scorers to play this game or greatest offensive threats have been able to play that in-between game, have been able to make plays for others, and when they figure out how to make their teammates better, they become that much greater. So I feel like myself and Luka, we figured that out to a certain degree where we get the best out of our guys, and they know how to feed us good energy. We know how to feed them good energy. And when the ball's hopping around or when guys are being aggressive and taking advantage of the first opportunity that they have and just making quick decisions, it does a lot for our team. Fluidity, just in how we play and our pace. And when we're getting up and down the floor, we're a tough team to beat.
Is there any advice that you've given Luka on that so-called road to being an all-time great after, what you've learned from playing alongside LeBron and your own trajectory yourself?
I mean, I play with a few guys that are all-time greats. I want to say that too. So I've had the opportunity to see them work on their crafts and also deal with a lot of the outside criticism. And again, the common trait that they share is just their ability to block out the noise and do the right things every single day. Work on their bodies, take care of themselves, and then also have fun with the game and know how to empower their teammates. So I've tried to just give little bits and pieces of nuggets of advice to Luka to to help him because when I'm out of the league and he's continuing to run it, if he doesn't retire early, leave it up to him to probably. If he doesn't retire early, then he'll be doing what I'm doing right now, except in his own way. And that's a beautiful thing to see. When I could pass on the knowledge and wisdom that was given to me and explain it to him and encourage him to be better, then I feel like I'm doing my job. And that's not just as a basketball player, that's just as a person. He's a young man. I'm a young man as well. And he's going to have a lot more years after the game living life than when he's playing. So this is cool and all, being a leader and being called a leader in the locker room and stuff like that, but he's going to have to lead his family, be a father one day, and those are the most important things that I try to echo to him. It's just being a family man and continuing to put the things that matter to you first. That's one. 2 more. Okay, 2 more. One more.
Okay. I know I'm trying to get you home, man.
No, you good. I'm messing around with Allie. You good.
But I know I've talked to you about you being a leader and having your brothers lean on you. Mm-hmm. But in what I told Kid is a rare occurrence for you, how did it feel to have your brothers to lean on?
It feels incredible. It feels incredible. Are you talking about tonight? Just
yes.
After tonight? Yeah, man. Especially when I missed those free throws. Because as a young player, I definitely would have been wallowing in my emotions, and that would have carried over into the next game, and the confidence that I had would have been a little shot. It would have been a little hit. But now, just feeling the embrace, leaving the court, and knowing that this is a team success journey that we're on. This is our moment. So whether we play well or whether we don't, we all know that we're brothers and we're proud of each other. So those little things matter for me. They go a long way. Even at my age, just that affirmation that everything's going to be good and you're good, man, don't worry about it. That went a long way for me when we came to the locker room, but also when I was on the court, because I was definitely feeling it after I missed those free throws. Excuse me.
One last one for you. Obviously, when you have a game-winning shot like this, it kind of blots out a lot of the rest of the game. But I'm curious, when you think back through this one and the comeback you guys made, what are the other moments that stick out for you as being significant or big plays? Anything else that you think is worth calling out?
I mean, they beat us in the first 2 quarters, and I think we're going to see film, and we're going to see that there were a lot of correctables there. There were a lot of energy plays that we didn't get to. There were a few transition baskets that they got. Naz Reid, hit a few threes tonight that were very timely. And he was keeping them in the game tonight. And, he's 7 for 9 from 3, 8 for 13 for the game. I mean, coming off the bench, that's a big-time performance. And I don't want to let Luka's game winner overshadow some of the things that we can get better at. And I'll leave that to the coaching staff. But for me, I know I definitely can be better on the defensive end. I picked up some stupid fouls and some things that I can definitely improve on in terms of positioning defensively. And then offensively, just taking my time. There are a few shots that I missed. So just taking advantage of our end-of-quarter opportunities and looking back at how we consistently win quarters, because that's going to be the difference in this series. Of course, you want to get to the end of the game. You want it to be close. You want to be in the game. But if we can consistently win quarters and do it convincingly, I feel like this series can turn in our favor. But if not, we're going to see games like tonight where they're in the game or they're up double digits and they feel confident. Their home crowd's getting into it. A little bit different when we obviously go to Dallas, but here you can tell that they were playing off that energy. And, we just want to continue to make things difficult on the defensive end and improve what we can improve on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.